Just moments before the public announcement, a federal judge issued a ruling that sent a legal earthquake through the United States. The court made the extraordinary decision to appoint an independent receiver, stripping Donald Trump of all operational control over Mar-a-Lago, the property that stands as the ultimate symbol of his wealth, identity, and power. This was not a minor ruling. This was the exact moment a federal judge concluded Trump could no longer be trusted with his own crown jewel. In American law, removing an owner from managing their property is a rare and drastic last resort. That is why this receivership order was immediately recognized not just as a legal defeat, but as a historic turning point with profound consequences. To understand the seismic impact of this decision, you must first understand what Mar-a-Lago truly was. It was far more than a luxury club. For Donald Trump, it was his primary residence and personal headquarters, his unofficial political command center, hosting fundraisers and strategy sessions, the beating heart of the Trump brand, the physical manifestation of his winner image. Every photo op, every rally, every display of influence was staged from this palace. So when the court seized operational control, the blow was not just financial or legal. It was a direct strike at the central symbol of his entire public persona. Many hear receiver and think the property has been seized. Legally, it's more nuanced and in some ways more debilitating. Donald Trump remains the legal owner on paper. His name is still on the deed. But ownership without control is an empty title. The court-appointed receiver, Sarah Mitchell, now holds absolute authority over every single aspect of Mar-a-Lago, its finances, its staff, its daily operations, and its policies. Trump has been reduced to a spectator, forced to ask for permission for basic access to his own property. This is the critical line where legal ownership and real-world power completely separate. A judge does not take this step lightly. To justify a receivership, the court must prove serious harm, the failure of all other measures, and an ongoing future risk. Judge Patricia Santos's 68-page order meticulously laid out 4 catastrophic failures that destroyed the court's trust. The court found Trump's management repeatedly misled members about the club's financial health and exclusivity to collect massive fees. Money promised for upgrades was allegedly diverted to other Trump ventures, while Mar-a-Lago itself operated at a deficit. Expert testimony revealed non-compliant fire suppression systems, faulty alarms, inadequate escape routes, and dangerous electrical hazards. These were not minor code violations, but imminent risks to the safety of hundreds of members, staff, and guests. Trump was ordered to fix these safety issues over 18 months ago. The court's review found less than 20% of the mandated work had been completed. Deadlines were ignored, promises were broken, and the danger remained. The court documented missed deadlines for financial disclosures, obstruction of court-appointed inspectors, and public attacks on the judiciary's authority. The judge concluded Trump showed a fundamental disregard for the rule of law itself. The transfer of power to receiver Sarah Mitchell is both practical and deeply symbolic. The new rules are clear. The financial cutoff. Mar-a-Lago generates an estimated $25 million annually. All that revenue now flows into accounts solely controlled by the receiver. Trump has zero access. Funds are first used for court-ordered safety repairs and operations. Access requires permission. In the most stunning reversal, Donald Trump must now formally submit a request to the receiver to visit Mar-a-Lago, stating his purpose and agreeing to her conditions. Staff now reports around him. Employees who once took orders from Trump are now obligated to report any operational interference from him directly to the receiver. Political headquarters neutralized. Every future fundraiser, rally, or political meeting must be pre-approved by the receiver. Trump's most powerful home field advantage has been switched off. Trump has publicly denounced the ruling as a political witch hunt and vowed to appeal. However, legal experts highlight a steep challenge. To overturn a receivership on appeal, Trump must prove the trial judge abused her discretion, an extremely high bar to meet when the order is based on hundreds of pages of evidence showing fraud, safety risks, and contempt. Furthermore, if Trump attempts to interfere with the receiver's work by directing staff or rallying members, he risks triggering even stricter sanctions from the court, such as supervised visits, communication bans, or additional contempt fines. Defiance could shrink his remaining access to zero. This case illustrates a fundamental principle often cited by investor Warren Buffett. An organization's crown jewel asset defines its reputation and perceived competence. Losing control of it signals a total collapse of trust. For Trump, Mar-a-Lago was that crown jewel. The court's decision triggers a domino effect far beyond the property's gates. Financial ripple effect. Banks and creditors will reevaluate his risk. The loss of a $25 million annual revenue stream creates immediate pressure. Brand damage. The luxury and control associated with the Trump name is shattered, replaced by an image of court-ordered supervision and mismanagement. Political disruption. Losing control of his primary stage forces a costly and chaotic relocation of his political machinery. This is more than a property dispute. This is the moment the American legal system concluded that a former president could not be trusted to manage the very asset that symbolized his empire due to a sustained pattern of fraud, endangerment, and defiance of the court. Mar-a-Lago still stands, but its keys are no longer in Donald Trump's hands. The consequences of this historic receivership will redefine his financial, political, and personal standing for years to come.